This Shirat Dvora that we started last week, we'll go over just for a minute, then continue for where we ended. We can divide it to 3 different sections. The first few psukim is the introduction for the song, Vatashar, as we started last week, Vatashar Dvora uvrat ben Avinom bayom ha'u lemor. After they won the battle, then Dvora and Barak started singing a song, just like we all know Shirat, the song that Am Yisrael sang when they crossed the Red Sea. We have also Shirat Ha'azinu. At the end of the Torah, the second to last parsha in the Torah, we have the song of Ha'azinu, Ha'azinu Hashamayim va'adabera v'tishma haaretz imrei fi, one of the last speeches of Moshe Rabbeinu to the Jewish nation. And also here in Sefer Shoftim, we have Shirat Dvora, which sang and thanked Hashem for the miracles and the great war that happened against the nation of Canaan. The second part, from Pasuk Dalet to Yud Aleph, from the 4th to 11th Pasuk, we have the Hitgalut Hashem, the impression of Hashem that is shown inside the whole story and the situation of the nation at the time where the war, the time before the war against the Canaan, where Am Yisrael were slaves and Am Yisrael were working and being tortured from the nation of Canaan, and Hashem is looking and seeing that, but he's waiting for Am Yisrael to call Hashem. Hashem doesn't always give the first hand. Hashem wants Am Yisrael's hearts to come back. If Am Yisrael leaves, then that's a horrible thing. But Hashem is always will welcome them back, always have the door opened for them. But it's Am Yisrael that needs to walk into the opening, into the door, and maybe sometimes Hashem will help them without them coming back. But the mainly, Am Yisrael needs to do the first step or pick up the first hand and show Hashem that they want to go back. And the psukim explain the whole situation that was before the war started and until the war started. And over here, we ended last week and we got to the point where Hashem is giving Dvora and Barak ben Avinom some kind of sign. This is the time for you to wake up. This is the time for you to start your leadership. And this is also what Shira brings down in her song of Shirat Dvora. And we ended over here on Pasuk Yudbet, this Pasuk 12. Uri Uri Dvora, Uri Uri Dabri Shir, Kum Barak Ushve Shevyecha ben Avinoam. Dvora explains how she was woken up. She woke up Barak, and this is the time to go and capture the nation of Canaan and their commander Sisra. Az yarad sarid la'adirim am Adonai, yirad li bagiborim. Pasuk 13, Mini Ephraim shorsham ba'amalek acharecha v'inyamin ba'amamecha, mini machir yardu mechokikim umizvulun moshchim beshevet sofer. The Pasuk 14, it gives us a few tribes which is mentioned in this Pasuk. And who came out of these tribes? From the tribe of Ephraim, the main person that came out of that tribe was Yehoshua bin Nun. Yehoshua bin Nun was the one that helped Moshe against the battle against the nation of Amalek. When Am Yisrael left Egypt, Moshe Rabbeinu was ordered from Hashem, you destroy this nation of Amalek. And who helped Moshe pick up his hands when Am Yisrael was in war? Yehoshua and Hur. Yehoshua came out of the tribe of Ephraim. And that's why he's here, he's mentioned here to complete, just like Hashem ordered in the Torah to destroy the nation of Amalek, also the nation of Canaan. Canaan is also one of the nations that if they're in the holy land, Eretz Israel, the Holy Land, if they are there, it is a mitzvah. It is one of the laws of the Torah that this nation, if they don't leave the land, then they need to go to war and really destroy them. And this is that's why the tribes, different tribes are mentioned here to give us some kind of hint how they fought against other nations. So are we fighting against this nation. And also Shevet Binyamin, who came from Shevet Binyamin, Shaul ben Kish, which also was one of a fighter that fought against different nations and other nations like the Emori and Argov, which different people fought against different nations. And here in Pasuk 15, continuing with other tribes, V'sarai be'Yisachar im Dvora, ve'Yisachar ken barak ba'emek shulach beraglav, biflagot Reuven gdolim chikekei lev. The sarim that are brought down here, the chiefs that are brought down here, it's not some kind of like presidents. Rashi explains that these are the Beit Din. These are the rabbis that are sitting and learning Torah and know when it's time to learn Torah, but also when it's time to get up and go to war. And just like Dvora and Vira, Dvora was a prophet. And a prophet isn't just something like that. You need to be a righteous man. The Rambam brings down all the different levels, how to be a prophet. And Dvora got to that level, and she knew that when it's time to close the books and go to war, same idea, these rabbis, these Talmidei Chachamim that were learning Torah, and that's what they were doing all their life from the tribe of Issachar, they knew when to go to war. And also Barak was also, as we mentioned at the beginning, was also from there and sent them down to this valley to start the war against Sisra and the nation of Canaan. Lama, in Pasuk 16, Lama yashavta ben המשפטיים לשמוע שריקות עדרים לפלגות ראובן גדולים חקרי לב. Dvora is talking to Am Yisrael, why did you wait so long until you heard the sounds of the cattle, the sounds of the animals with their feet coming towards you, but you waited too long? Why didn't you get up then and start the war on time? Gilad, Pasuk 17, Gilad be'ever הירדן שכן ודן למה יגור אוניות אשר ישב לחוף ימים ועל מפרציו ישכון. All these tribes didn't get up on time or didn't even get up at all to come and help the tribes of Issachar and Ephraim. Zvulun, Am Cheref Nafsho Lamut v'Naftali al Meromei Sadeh. The two tribes that were willing to go and get killed in order to save the whole nation was Zvulun and Naftali. Zvulun Am Cheref Nafsho Lamut. They were willing to go and die with Barak ben Avinoam and also the tribe of Naphtali, both of them from the north of the land of Israel, also from Har Tavor, also them who are willing to go and sacrifice themselves to save the whole nation. In Pasuk 19, Ba'u melachim nilchamu, az nilchamu malchei Chnan beta'anach al mei Megiddo, betza kesef lo lakachu. מן שמיים נלחמו הכוכבים עם סירותם, נלחמו עם סיסרם, נחל קישון גרפם, נחל קדומים, נחל קישון תדרכי נפשי עוז. פסוק 22, אז הלכו עקבי סוס מדהרות, דהרות אביריו. We read just one more פסוק. אורו מרוז אמר מלאך אדוני, אורו ארור יושביה, כי לא באו לעזרת אדוני, לעזרת אדוני בגיבורים. As we said in פסוק 18, the tribes of Zvulun and Naphtali were willing to sacrifice themselves. But also in Pasuk 20, Min Shamay Nilchamu, even Hashem brought down the blessing from the heavens. And how do we see that? HaKochavim im silotam nilchamu im Sisra. The stars, every star has its root in the sky, and that star cannot move from its root. And here Dvora sings and says that even the stars came down from the sky to come and help the war against this nation of Canaan. And I want to read you a midrash that is brought down in Rashi, and Rashi brings down Rosh HaKochav b'shamayim v'sofo ba'aretz. The top of the star is in the sky, and the bottom of the star is on the ground. And from here, the sages learned ovyo shel rakia ke'avir sheben shamayim la'aretz. What is the width of the ear that we have from the ground to, what is the width that the sky is? How wide is the sky, or how high is what we consider sky, is the same height from the ground to the sky. It's also brought down in Masechet Chagiga in the Talmud that it takes 500 years of walking from the ground to the next heaven. And from the next heaven, from the bottom of the next heaven to the top of that same heaven, another 500 years. So it's the same amount. And these stars, which was held up in the sky and brought down to the ground to help Barak ben Avinoam to battle against the nation of Canaan. So we see here, and Rashi brings down that we learn from here that is the same height from the heavens to the ground. And Pasuk 21, explaining the places where it happened, Nachal Kishon Grafam, Nachal Kdumim, Nachal Kishon, just like you sweep up the dust. Also here, this valley was swept up, the dust was swept up and turned into a lot of area of dust, with all the feet, with all the legs, with all the army, with all the cattle, with all the different vehicles that had there. And in Pasuk 22, Az halmu ikvei sus midaharot daharot abirav. Also here, the word halmu is meant to hit. The hitting of the sounds of the horses also here were heard, and they heard them falling down slowly. In Pasuk 23, Oru meroz amar malach Hashem, Oru aror yoshveha, ki lovau le'ezrat Hashem bagiburim. The angel of Hashem, Barak ben Avinoam, says that he is in the messenger as from the angel of Hashem, and everybody that is with him in the war is actually keeping Hashem's way. This is the second part of explaining the battle against the nation of Canaan. From here on until the end of the chapter, which is also the end of the song of Shirat Dvora, we have several women which are mentioned in these psukim, and we're gonna explain some of them and see how they are connected. Over here from Pasuk 24, Tevorach minashim Yael, Eshet Chever Akemi, minashim ba'ohel tevorach. Yael, which we mentioned in the previous chapter, which she is the one that at the end of the situation saved the Jewish nation and killed the commander of the Canaan nation, which was Sisra, the commander of their army. She is blessed. She is praised from Dvora. And as we also saw in the psukim, it happened in a tent. And over here, the psukim will give us a few more examples, or the explanations give us a few more examples. Who else were in tents? Rashi brings down Sarah Imenu, of course, with the previous few weeks ago, which we read on Shabbat, Abraham Avinu's wife, Sarah, when she was in the tent and the angels came to say that she is going to have a child in 1 year, when she was 89 years old, and she left with the whole story that we read just a few weeks ago. She was a righteous person. Avraham Avinu brought in visitors to his house, but she worked hard. She made them food. She made them comfortable. Rivka, Yitzchak Avinu's wife, when Yitzchak Avinu wanted to marry Rivka after Avraham's servant Eliezer went to bring Rivka from Haran, it says, Vayevieha Yitzchak ha'ohela. Yitzchak brought her into the tent. And we have our other mothers, Rachel veLeah, where also from there it says, Vayetze me'ohel Rachel vayavo el ohel Leah, where Yaakov Avinu went from tent to tent. Our mothers, our holy mothers, all of them are mentioned with tents. Same idea also here, Yael. All the miracle, all her powerful and can say the great strength that she had, also here, it happened in a tent. Ma'im Sha'al, and here Dvora is explaining what happened. Remember, Sisra asked for water, she gave him milk. Hikriva chem'ah, Ma'im Sha'al chalav natana, she gave him milk. Basefel adirim hikriva chem'ah. ידע ליתת תשלחנה וימינה להלמות עמלים, והלמה סיסרא מחקה ראשו ומחצה וחלפה רקתו. פסוק 27, בין רגליה קרא נפל שכב, בין רגליה קרא נפל, באשר קרא שם נפל שדוד. He fell down in between her feet because he was so tired, because she gave him milk. And we'll give just a nice example for her righteous and amazing action where she thought deeply to give him milk and not water. And you can ask yourself, why didn't she give him wine? Wine could have done the same action. A person that wants to get drunk, he'll drink alcohol, he'll drink wine. Why did Yael give Sisra milk and not wine? If her whole point was to make him even more tired than what he was, she wanted him to lie down, to fall asleep. Why milk? Why not wine? I want you to remember that question, and we're going to deal with it in just a few minutes. And then she looked, and who looked outside her window to look if her son Sisra was coming back? The mother of Sisra. בעד החלון נשקפה ותייבב אם סיסרא בעד האשנב, מדוע בושש רכבו לבוא, מדוע אחרו פעמי מרכבותיו. Sisra's mother, she was waiting for her son to come back from war. And when she sees that nobody is coming back, his whole army was destroyed, Sisra himself is not coming back, she started crying. And not just crying, she started whining in such kind of voice, which is not a regular cry, but it's like someone crying a lot in very, very fast tones. And this is where we learn that about Tkiyat Shofar and Rosh Hashanah. If you ever learned some books that our sages have written, and they write there, why do we blow 100 tkiyot? Or why do we blow different tkiyot? We have tkiyah, shvarim, tru'ah. If you are in the shiurim when we learned just before Rosh Hashanah about the tkiyot and the explanations and the differences, then you know what I'm talking about. And this is learned from here, from Sisra, from her crying, from her wailing. That is where we learn the difference between shvarim and tru'ah. Pasuk 29, חכמות שרותיה תעננה, אף היא תשיב אמריה לה. הלא ימצאו יחלקו שלל. רחם רחמתיים לראש גבר, שלל צבעים לסיסרא, שלל צבעים רקמה, צבע רקמתיים לצווארי שלל. And the last pasuk, כן יאבדו כל אויביך אדוני ואוהביו כצאת השמש בגבורתו, ותשקוט הארץ 40 שנה. The last pasuk, pasuk 31, is a kind of conclusion of the song, praising and asking from Hashem, just like the nation of Canaan, and also the king of Canaan, which was caught, like we read in the last chapter, and also the commander, the hero Sisra, was caught. Such then, all of the enemies of Hashem, all of the enemies of Am Yisrael should get caught just like that, should get destroyed, and should be killed. And after all this situation, Vatishkot haaretz 40 shana. The land was rested for 40 years. That is the conclusion of Shirat Dvora. And before we end from the chapter, I want to bring some kind of metaphor about Yael, which she was a hero because she had a few choices. She sees the commander of this great army which went to war against the Jewish nation, and this commander is coming into her tent, and she needed to think very, very fast. What should I do with this person? Should I let him hide? Maybe he's going to kill me. Should I let him rest quietly and not tell anyone? Should I let him rest and maybe try running away, or maybe he'll catch me when I'm trying to run away and he'll kill me? She needed to be very, very, very brave to do whatever she did, but not just brave, also very, very thoughtful and to be smart. I want to bring a story which I heard, I'm not sure if it's true or just a metaphor, and the difference between a tzaddik, a chassid, and kadosh. Tzaddik is a righteous person. Am Yisrael are tzaddikim. A person that does a mitzvah, he's a tzaddik, he's a righteous person. Going up a level, we have a chassid, someone that does something that wasn't asked from him, but he does it in his own will. Good things. And we're going to give examples. And the highest level is kadosh. Holy, someone holy. And once upon a time, there was a very rich person which was giving a lot of loans. And one day, a different person came to him, to this millionaire, and he wasn't a poor person, but he wanted to take a loan, ask for a little money, and said, I need 50,000 shekels to invest in something. Okay, this millionaire checked him out. Is he telling the truth? Is he gonna steal it? He's gonna run away? Found out from a few people. He said, this person, he's a good person. Okay, excellent. He gave him 50,000 shekel in cash, asked him, when are you gonna give it back? He said, on the 1st of the next month. Okay, excellent. Sent him off for the way. And the 1st of the next month came. He hears knocks, this millionaire here knocks on the door, opens the door and sees this person that he gave him just a few weeks ago, the 50,000 shekel. He brings down, puts him 50,000 shekel and says, wow, thank you so much. And he starts blessing this person, this millionaire starts blessing this person that took the loan. Shkoyech, and you should have all the blessings that you need, you, your wife, your children, your family, your investment, your job, whatever you need a blessing with, you should have your blessing. This person was looking at him, why are you blessing me so much? I said I'm going to come on the 1st of the next month. I came on the 1st of the next month. Say, thank you very much. Goodbye. What are all these blessings? The millionaire comes to this person and says, there are people that say they're going to come back on the 1st of the next month, but they don't come back. They come back a few days later, a few weeks later, maybe even a few months later. And after I see those people that they are late, sometimes they tell me, sometimes they don't. And then suddenly I see someone coming on time. What a wonderful thing. How much I need to bless Hashem, how much I need to thank you. And this person says, I don't want to take these blessings from someone else. Because there are people that really need these blessings where they do something more than what they're supposed to. Okay, this story finished, went away for a few months. A few months later, the same person comes to this millionaire, says, can I have a loan for 50,000 shekel again? He said, sure. Last time you came back on time. You were very generous. You gave me the exact amount. Please take another 50,000 shekel, go invest whatever you need. When are you giving it back? The 1st of the next month. Excellent. He knows already one time he was standing for his word. He was keeping his word. The 25th of the end of the month, 5 days before the 1st, this millionaire gets a knock on the door. Opens the door and he sees this person, which he lent him the money just less than a month ago. He says, what are you doing here? He said, I don't need the money anymore. I came to give it back. This millionaire starts blessing him. Thank you so much. Koyach, you should have blessings for you, your family, your wife, your investment, your job, whatever you need blessings, you should have blessings. And this person that took the loan, now he understands. He did something that wasn't asked from him. He did something that he didn't need to do. He said he's going to return on the first, but he came a few days later. That is a chassid. That is a level on top of a righteous person, which he does something that no one asked him to do. He came a few days earlier. He could have invested this money for another 3-4 days, but he said, no, I have this money now. Let me return it. No one asked me to return it. So then the blessings that he got, he understood this time why he got. The next level is kadosh, holy. After a few months, this person comes back, knocks on the millionaire, says, this time I need a really big loan, 200,000 shekel. So this millionaire said, okay, wonderful. Last time you came back earlier, please take. Give me, do you need a check? Do you need cash? Said I need cash, goes to his room, gets 200,000 shekel in the cash. And when are you returning it? On the first of the next month. Excellent, goodbye, good luck. And this millionaire gets to the 25th of the month, said, okay, maybe this person is gonna return again early. He's waiting, looking outside, looking to see if he's gonna come. No one's coming. Okay, he said the first, maybe it's gonna be the first. The first of the month comes. The millionaire looks outside, no phone calls, no nothing. The day is starting to end, sunset is coming. This person with the 200,000 shekel is not returning. Maybe he's a real thief. Maybe he took small loans at the beginning just to that I should trust him, but then he asked for a big one and he just ran away. And the first of the next month ended, and this millionaire sat in his house, all sad, crumbled up, closed the shades, didn't know what to do now. He trusted someone that turned to be a thief. A few days later, the 4th of the 5th of the month, knock on the millionaire's door. Who is it? This person with the 200,000 loan. The millionaire asks him, what happened? He said, you don't understand. I flew to America, to the United States, and there was a snowstorm. Thousands of flights were canceled. And the first flight that I could have gotten on, I got on. And before I went to see my family, before I went to see my wife and my children, I came here to give you back the loan that I said I'm going to give you back a few days ago. And the millionaire, what did he do? He could have been mad at this person. But not just that he blessed him with all the blessings that he did last time, he started hugging him and kissing him and dancing with him and being so happy with him and doing a lechaim with him. And this person's looking at him, why? I'm late by a few days. Why are you so happy? He said, I'll tell you the truth. When you didn't come on the first, I thought you were a thief. I was taking back all the blessings that I blessed you the first time. I thought you ran away with the 200,000 shekel that I gave you, and I didn't know what happened. I was even thinking and wishing that worse things would happen to you. But now that you're explaining to me what happened, I'm so happy that you came back. I'm so happy that the things that I said that I thought didn't become true. This third level, and this time on the millionaire, is kadosh, holy. A person that is holy, Am Yisrael are kadoshim. Every single day we say kadosh, 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 Hashem tzvaot. And Am Yisrael is called mamlechet kohanim vegoy kadosh. The word kadosh is different than the others. The word kadosh, Am Yisrael are kadoshim. They're not more important than other nations. Maybe they are, but they're different than other nations. We have all the nations on one side, but Am Yisrael are the holy ones, are the different ones, are also on a higher level, but are closer to Hashem. They do things that are not asked for them. So right, every day when you put on tefillin, when you keep Shabbat, when you eat kosher, that's a righteous person. A person that has a way to do even something on a higher level, that's a chassid. And Am Yisrael, which receive the Torah on Sinai mountain, all of them are kadoshim. And how does this connect to our chapter? Yael, which is the one which could have given wine to Sisra. But then Sisra would think, why are you giving me wine? You're giving me wine so I could get drunk and go to sleep so you can kill me? Then I'll kill you. But Sisra was smart enough. She had the courage to change something, to do something that no one asked from her, was to be even more smart and to give him this milk so he can fall asleep, and then was stabbed. And that's what we learn from Yael and from Dvora and from Barak ben Avinoam, which all of these two chapters, the previous one and Shirat Dvora, we learn from that we have three stages. We have Tzaddik, Chassid, and Kadosh, a righteous person, a higher level, which is a Chassid, and a holy one, which does even more than what is asked from him. B'ezrat Hashem, next week we're gonna continue with Perek Vav, with the 6th chapter, and you should all have a continuation of a great week.